5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turntables activated. Get ready. The most versatile hip-hop radio station in the world.
You can talk about us, but you can't talk without us. Phenomenal radio. We are what radio should be.
You could listen to one of those other stations, but what would your friends think?
Holy shit. Where'd you find this?
You're locked into the number one online radio station.
Here we go!
It's not that your radio sounds strange. You just found a station that plays what you like. Phenomenal Radio.
Radio just got a lot more fun. Thanks for listening.
Phenomenal Radio, PhenomRadio.com, the most versatile hip-hop station in the world, where we put the power of the industry in the hands of the independent. Here tapped in with some of my brothers and a special guest. I am your brother at Slatestone Music anywhere online. Hashtag the 1000 Network on any social media platform or internet search engine, and you will find the artifacts we've been streaming over a decade, independent streaming, and tapped in with a phenomenal guest. But before we get to him and let him speak to you, I'm going to pass it to Despair. He's going to throw it to James, and James is going to introduce our guest.
This is DJ Despair. I'm out here in Canada, between Winnipeg and Toronto. CEO of Killers Entertainment, part of the Rough Riders, Nerd DJs, Phenomenal, Next Level, United Music Mafia, DJ League, you name it, I'm part of it. We got it. Patsy Dick James.
Peace and love and light. Thank you guys for tuning in with us on this sunny day in some parts of the country and on this chilly, very rainy and stormy day in parts of the country like Mississippi. I am the CEO and founder of the Industry Plug magazine, and I am co-partner to KPTX Digital Broadcasters, the most phenomenal radio station on the planet. Today we have a phenomenon, and a lot of people from around the world have been watching him for 30 plus years because he's been a great character, a great personality, a great hilarious comedian / actor. And today he's checking in with us from Hollywood, California, by way of St. Louis, Missouri, Chicago, Illinois, and so many other great places today. The one and only, who stole the show, might I add, in one of our favorite hip hop movies of all time. It's a classic, House Party 2 with Kid and Play, and he came in there.
House Party 3.
Yeah, that's right. House Party 3.
We were the
Kid
best.
and
They
Play.
tried to say the first one was the best with Martin. No, I'm sorry.
No, sir.
We were
it was
absolutely
funny.
the best.
It was funny.
Your role was amazing. In that.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. But we also had Bernie Mac. We had Ronaldo Ray. We had Simply Marvelous. Chris Tucker. Oh, it was crazy. It was amazing.
Marquez Houston and so many others.
Yes,
and
sir.
however, today, everybody please join us in welcoming the one and only, the great Michael Collier.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you feeling there, brother? What's going on?
I'm supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, brother. If I was doing any better, I think it was a setup. How you doing?
I'm feeling well, brother. I'm feeling well, man. It's a
Yes,
blessing
sir.
to be able to sit here with you, get some of your time, and learn a little bit more about your journey and your legacy.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, brother. So when did you recognize, we'll start it off, when did you recognize your gift in making people smile? And I'm sure that's just one of your gifts, but when did you recognize this, and what was that experience like?
It was Tuesday. I'm playing with you. I'm sorry. I don't know. I've been funny forever, but in high school, I started getting into plays and all the plays at my high school. In fact, I was in every one except the first year. So my second, third, and fourth year of high school, I got into plays. And I just really felt like that was my calling, was to be an actor. right? And so me and my friends, we got the lead every year. That afterwards, we start our own little acting company. We ain't make no money. We ain't go nowhere with that shit. And then a friend of mine sort of coaxed me into doing comedy on the street because they were street performers in Chicago. And they said, Michael, you funny, why don't you come out? So I learned some jokes. Actually, what I had done is I got some Red Fox albums, and I went down to my mama's basement where I was living anyway. And I studied them jokes all day long. I stand in the mirror and play them over and over till I could say them like they were mine, you know? And at the time, this is 1984. At the time, the coldest thing in entertainment was Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy was everything. Not only was he... did he have the #1 comedy album and concert out called Raw? He wasn't but 23 and he'd already done 48 Hours, Trading Places, and the first Beverly Hills Cops, and could wear the hell out of a red leather suit. He could do all that shit. And he got all that from just telling jokes. And I was like, damn, I need to get out the mustard and catch up, you know, because I've been funny my whole life. So I started listening to some Red Fox albums, and I just went out in the street and started doing the jokes on State Street, telling jokes, passing my hat. White folks would come and put money right in the basket. You know, and at that time in my life, I never had any interaction with white people. I'd seen them, and I lived in a community, was segregated community for the most part. Morgan Park, which was a great community at the time. Now it's called the Wild 100. So even the police scared to go over there. But I was doing my little comedy on the street. It was really, really good. I started doing great, and then winter came. So wasn't nobody trying to hit no damn jokes on State Street in December. So I packed up everything that fit in my little car. I had a 1967 Buick LeSabre at the time. I thought I was fly. And I sold everything else, and I drove to California where I found Venice Beach. I stood on Venice Beach for 9 years and did comedy from 86 to 95. I did 5 one-hour shows every Saturday and every Sunday without fail. So I did like 6 figures a year. Doing just comedy on the weekends, you know, and we did that for 9 years. Halfway through that, I got on this show called Star Search, and won that little 100,000, gave half to the homeless, and went right back to Venice Beach and continued to tell jokes and pass my hat. And it's so funny too because there's this guy who I beat on Star Search, Lena McSomething. The lady who's a Rick producer now, and she does The Shy, Lena Waithe, is doing a movie with this dude who I beat. And in the movie, he claims I beat him because I said I was going to give my money to the homeless. I'm like, I didn't just whoop your ass because I whooped your ass. I whooped your ass because I didn't know Ed McMahon was going to ask the question. You know, he asked him, and his name, and he was like, he asked him what he gonna do if he won the money. He said, I'm back my mama house. Everybody was like, oh. I said, look, I'm gonna give half mine to the homeless. They was like, yeah, right on. It may have helped in retrospect, but I was way funnier than that Negro. Funnier than him then and funnier than him now. His name is Anthony Griffin, and he can't stand toe-to-toe with me on stage nowhere in America. I'd tear his corny ass up. He wouldn't have a clue. So anyway, I can't wait to see that movie come out. People calling me saying they auditioning to play me. Nigga, I'm still here. So I know if she puts her hand on it, it's probably going to be good. She's turned out some good work, but that's corny. They didn't even let me talk about it. I reached out to her. She didn't even return the calls, text, nothing. They don't want to know my side of the same story, nigga. Okay, all right. So anyway, that got me out there. I did Venice Beach. I did that for a while. I did film and television. And, you know, long story short, though, I don't know why anybody like me would ever want to make a long story short. Okay, anyway, long story short, right now, I sit smack dab in the middle of my dream. I'm doing everything I've ever wanted to do. After doing Venice Beach, that was over 30 years ago that I've been out there. Went back out 3 months ago and shot my 1-hour special live on Venice Beach. In fact, I built my stage right in front of the police station. I built the stage, looked like a king's crown. It's called the King of Venice Beach. And I'm currently in the middle of my first sitcom that I'm the star of. Never been #1 on the call sheet. And I am #1 on the call sheet for Highly Favored. Anybody who wants to see that, all they got to do is go to the search engine and put in WatchImpact.com. Watch Impact, IMPACT. WatchImpact.com. it'll come right up and show you how to go through the app and get it. And we have a new episode every week. Our final episode, our 6th episode, is next Thursday. This thing is hilarious. I play a pastor, which in itself is funny, that a heathen is playing the pastor. So I'm the pastor, and Rodney Perry is my deacon, and Melanie Camacho is one of the church ladies, and my wife is Kiki Shepherd from Apollo. And when I say it is hilarious, I mean, y'all gonna lose it. It'll remind you of Amen with Sherman Hemsley. It's that type of old school comedy that's funny, it's family friendly, it's faith based. We're teaching lessons from the Bible while we also joking and talk about family and life and God. And it's just so good. It's hilarious. We even got OG Bobby Johnson. He's on the next episode. Glenn Plummer, he's on. It's an awesome episode. I can't wait to see that one. We got what's his name on there too, the guy who played Professor Oglesby on Monique's show. He got an episode, man. He that boy's so funny. So I'm doing that. I have one book out, which is my children's book, Little Bobby White, although the kids are black. And it's the story of a child who always wins because he always chooses to do the right thing. It was a lesson that we don't teach anymore. We don't teach our children the lesson of being good for goodness sake. We don't teach them anything. What we do is we give them a device and we sit them over there in the corner. And we come back 8 years later, we don't know why they sitting on a bed rolling joints with a pistol and calling us motherfuckers. Pretty much it's because we're forgetting our role as parents, man. Yes. You know, the ones who're supposed to give the youth true guidance. So they're guiding each other. You know, they're trying to teach each other what life is, what manhood is, instead of learning from the men in their lives, their fathers, their uncles, their big brothers. You know, so the book, I got the book. I was going to show you the cover of it because people are watching this, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm right here. I ain't going to bar. Hold up. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. So this the book, Little Bobby White. And actually the kids are black and Hispanic back there. That's his buddy. And the artwork is phenomenal. The guy's name is DeMar Douglas. DeMar Douglas did this very famous painting of Kaepernick, but his afro looks like a big old fist, right? And the book is just amazing. It's called Little Bobby White. You can get it on Amazon for $15. Matter of fact, if you give them $2 more, they'll bring it to your house tonight. I don't know where the hell these Amazon people are. Let me tell you, I ordered something from Amazon last week. Came to my house in 34 minutes. Where the hell are these people at, man? I'm nervous now. I'm looking out the window seeing the Amazon parked in the corner. I don't know what the hell is going on. So I'm doing that book. I also have an erotic poetry book, but I'm holding it to drop because I'm playing a pastor right now. But I just finished a new erotic poetry book called In the Wet Spot, Blue Erotica, by MC Butternuts. Hold up. I was trying to see if I had what's the picture in there about for the cover. The cover art is off the chain, but that's upstairs. But yeah, so that one is like 14 erotic poems. It's very excellent. It's an audio book. It'll be my first audio book. But on top of all of that, I'm on the road almost every weekend doing 5 to 6 shows. And I'm in love with the most incredible woman that God created besides my mama on this planet. Matter of fact, we've been married 554 days today.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, she is everything, bro. You know,
Yes,
I knew
sir.
I was in love with her by the 3rd week because I called everybody who thought they were fucking with me and said, don't call me no more. I'm off the market. This phone I'm calling you on don't even work. I don't know how I called your ass. Don't call me.
Right.
Yeah. So you can't beat a complaint out of me. And everything that's happening for me is through God. You know, a lot of times people think stuff is happening to you, but most of the time things aren't happening to you. They're really happening for you. If you can see the gift in it and the way that you can direct it and navigate it so it works for you, it's all blessings, all of it. None of this would work if it wasn't for God. If God is not the answer, you're not even asking the right question, man. God sent me this great queen after 3 long-term relationships. My last relationship was so brutal. I said, I ain't getting in no more relationships. I'm going to be fucking, but I ain't getting no more relationships unless the right person come along. And then my queen, Sonia, came along. She owns the #1 soul food restaurant in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I apologize to my mama when I say this. This woman makes a better salmon croquette than my mama. And my mama held that title for 31 years, young man. Yeah, so she off favorites. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I didn't want to do all the talking. Go ahead. What's your question?
Nah, you good. This is what we want to know. That it's great, man. It's great what you're sharing. You mentioned in what you were telling us that you're right in the middle of your dream right now.
Smack down.
Right. Could you share with us and those watching a pinnacle of your legacy thus far and a low point that you experienced that you want to share with us thus far?
I don't know if I had low points, and I did crack for 23 years. I don't know if I had a low point. I've had many pinnacles, but I haven't really had a low point. The reason I have my wife today is because I was an addict, because that's what got me to her. So I did crack for 23 years, and as of March 1st, I have 17 years of pure sobriety. So I'm doing a one-man play. Then I'm doing nationally. I'm doing 100 cities. It's called Michael Collier's Mama. It's called Michael Collier's Mama because it ain't about your mama. It's about my mama, Mary Lena Smith, and my God, who are the two reasons that I love what I look at when I look in the mirror every morning. And all I want is that my mother and God are proud of me. So I'm doing this one-man play to tell my story. And it's an hour-and-a-half play. It's 90 minutes. I play 17 characters. So I play my mother and my father. I play all four of my big brothers. I play me at 4 different ages. I play the alcoholics, crackheads, and church ladies that comprise my community. And I get to tell my story, And so that's what got me to my wife, because in Winston-Salem, and I'm shocked at how many Black people don't know this, Winston-Salem has a National Black Theater Festival. Did you guys know about it?
Had no idea, and lived in the Carolinas for 23, 24 years.
It's been going on since 1979. Every 2 years, on the first weekend of August, 2,000 Black people fly into Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and take over the entire city to celebrate Black theater. I'm telling you, literally 80% of the white people leave and give us the city for a week, dude. And when I say take over the city, we take over every theater. Not just legitimate theaters, but every movie theater in the town. And we run 7 to 11 Black plays, musicals, one-man plays, every single day for a week in each one of those theaters. It's the wildest shit you ever seen. You'll walk through town all day and you'll see Black comedians you've been seeing your whole life. You can't put a name to them. Some of you go, you recognize it. I thought that motherfucker was dead. Anyway, and it is amazing. The white folks that stay actually decorate their stores in our colors, in our theme colors, and create sales and stuff for us. I mean, it's a big week of celebration, and it happens every 2 years in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I talk about it on stages every weekend. And every weekend, my audiences are between 300 and 500 people per first show, and I do like 5 shows a week. And then, 5 shows every weekend. And in every show I ask, how many of y'all have ever heard of the National Black Theater Festival? Never more than 6 people. Sometimes 4 or 2 even heard of it. With all these Black people, we don't even know about the National Black Theater Festival. And it's off the chain. When you see the musicals, when you see the creativity, then there's a whole bazaar where all these Black people come together and brought all the artwork and jewelry, and it's cold-blooded. And that's how I met my wife, because I was there. And that's where her restaurant is. And she saw me stand on the corner. She didn't even want to talk to me. She didn't want to say nothing. But her friend was like, hey, that's Michael Collier. Let's go say hi. And my wife was like, I ain't no groupie. And her friend was like, you don't have to be a groupie to say hi. And then she came and told me, well, first she introduced her fine. So she fine as frog's hair. You ever see frog hair? You can't see it. It's too motherfucking fine. Anyway, she came up and spoke to me, and she told me she had this restaurant, and I'm a food for soul food. I love soul food. Every weekend, whatever city I'm in, I go find the soul food restaurant. It's usually around Martin Luther King Drive, but it's always in our community in the hood. So I always like to go. So when she said soul food restaurant, she already had me. And then when I went there and ate the food, man, like she had chicken wings. I don't eat chicken wings. Chicken wings too nigga for me. Yeah, every place I go, my Black friends order chicken wings. We could be in Paris. Hey, you think you got wings? No, motherfucker. The bird is dead. Sit your ass down. Ain't no more wings. But my wife has created a sauce, nigga. It's called the Sonia sauce. Little sweet, little tangy. The first time I bit into it, I swear to God, I damn near came. Yeah, I'm eating chicken wings again, nigga.
You know what I love about this part is like when you played that one role in Black Dynamite, I was like on the floor. Like
in Black Dynamite, what was I? Was I one of the pimps or what was I? Are you talking about the animation or
the animation?
Oh, the animation. You actually got to see it?
I watched that all the time.
It was called.
We watch it on the regular.
I have that shit unlocked.
I never saw it. And my character is Sweet Butter. Don't make me get greasy. That was my name.
Sweet Butter don't even get greasy.
How would I find that? I would love to
television.
See that.
Roku, go. I think it's on Tubi or it's on
Roku or Tubi. It would be
or probably on.
I cannot. I didn't even know it even ran. I just know we did. I have so much of my work I've never even seen.
I used to watch Adult Swim all the time, and like when I came across Black Dynamite and certain things like that, I watched religiously, especially the Boondocks. Right,
it's on Adult Swim.
Right, so when you're watching, I always wanted you to do a cartoon, always, because you know, from Bebe's Kids to all the stuff I've ever seen, it's your time. You know what I mean, to do something like that, because Eddie Murphy's done it. A lot of people have done like certain things, right? But I feel that if you ever did a cartoon, it would be in the mind of you, like, you know, like what you've done and your character, because you stand out as a different comedian than most, because you got that father figure look too when you pop up on things. You got that old grandpa uncle at the barbecue attitude. Like when I watch you in cookouts and all these other things, I watch you religiously on a lot of movies. I find you on Tubi like crazy. And to be interviewing you right now is amazing, because I was just watching you on one of that cookout thing the other day with what's the name there.
So let me show you this. Go to your big screen. I'm doing a new cartoon right now. It's called The Blunt Heads. All the black people are blunts, and all the white people are either cigarettes or joints rolled with white paper. Go to the large screen.
I'm looking at it right now. I need to. I'm looking right at it.
Put that as a large screen, man. We got show.
You do it on a single screen, people can see the detail better. There you go. And that's me with my little hat and my spats down here on the left, down here next to the little old lady, and the guy with the cigar. That's Sleek Johnson, who played Black Jesus in Compton. And then on the far right, that's Ice Cube and his woman Coco. I mean, Ice-T. Ice-T and his woman Coco. That's Ice-T. That's his woman Coco. That's Slink Johnson. That's me. And I don't know the other characters' names offhand. But it's called The Blunt Heads. Okay. I just thought it was funny you mentioned that should be a cartoon.
That's the kind of cartoon I thought you would do. Like, it's amazing to see that actually is in process. I like when you speak things into existence. Manifesting is the best.
And you know, I also did The Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Buford, right?
Yeah, Buford. Yeah, I love that. That was probably one of my best jobs. I mean, one of my most enjoyable jobs out of all the jobs I've done.
What do you prefer most? Voicing? Sorry to cut you. Do you prefer voicing or being...
Stand-up comedy is my favorite. I mean, I'm doing films like crazy. I'm getting movies now. I'm getting series. I'm about to start my own one I'm creating as well. I have a sitcom that's off the chain. But I love acting. Acting has to be my second physical love, but first is comedy. Because comedy is a true challenge. You stand on the stage and you know right now whether your shit work or not. You know right fucking now. It's simple. Either they laugh or they don't laugh. If they don't laugh, nigga, you dying like a motherfucker. You better learn how to be versatile and edit on the spot. And if they laughing, you know you got them. It's real simple. It ain't brain surgery. You can't come out there with no dead ass house and go, man, did I kill that shit? No, motherfucker, we thought you was at the library. It's quiet as fuck. But if you walk up that stage and they cheering and they screaming and they calling your name, you got it right, you know. And it's funny. I just did 5 shows in Atlanta last weekend, and so for my 5th show, T.I. came, right. So he's like, Mike, can I come do 10 minutes on your set, on your show? I'm like, can you come? Fuck yeah, you can come do 10 minutes, right? So, and some folks have been saying he ain't that funny. Y'all can't say that to me. I saw him. The nigga's hilarious. He's funny and he's smart. You know, that's why his funny works, because he's got a real good brain. And he's got more confidence than Van Camp's got Pork and Beans. And when it comes to performance, it's all about confidence. If you got confidence, you can make shit up as you go. You don't even need no fucking material if you have the confidence. You know, if you don't, you'll be up there sweating like R. Kelly in the playground. People are like, what's that? It ain't even hot in here. Why is he sweating like that? The fucker's under some real pressure, nigga.
I got a question though. Do
So
you have?
so I'll always do comedy no matter what. I can do it till I drop dead. There's no such thing. People asked me last week when I retired. Retire from joy? What the fuck would I want to retire from that for? You know? No, that don't make sense. I want to do it like Red Fox, drop dead on stage. That's some cool shit right there. You don't see that coming. That's the funniest thing about death anyway. It's always a surprise. You ain't see that motherfucker coming. You be like, damn, I thought I had 4 more years. You know what I'm saying? But
So going from watching Eddie Murphy into actually being in a movie with Eddie, how did that feel?
Holy shit. Well, you know, even before that, the feeling of greatness came when he came to see me on Venice. Because I do Venice Beach. So I was doing Venice Beach. Like I said, every weekend I was doing comedy. And everybody and their mama would make it to my show. Rick James came all the time. He brought Arsenio Hall. Arsenio Hall brought Eddie Murphy. So I'd been out there maybe 4 months. And I looked up and Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall are standing there at my show on Venice Beach. In the middle of all these people watching me do my shit. Lawrence Fishburne used to come on. Well, he was Larry when I do the nigga. He was Larry. And it was so funny because I remember his life blew up. And I saw him one day at the airport. And I said, hey, Larry, how you doing? He said, my name isn't Larry anymore. It's Lawrence. Larry is dead. I said, damn, nigga, what killed him? You know, so he used to come out and do his thing. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, because they had an apartment in Venice and they hadn't made it yet. They would come out. And folks, Carl Anderson, who played Judas, Carl Anderson played Judas on Jesus Christ Superstar. He would come and sit. So many celebs would come down and see me on that beach. So when I'm doing all this stuff, first I found the beach. I realized it was a gem. It would be just a gold mine, but nobody was making money out there. They didn't understand the art of the hustle. They just knew the art of being performance people, but it's your business. You don't get show business, then your business ain't gonna be shit. You got to get your business part. And so I went right out and taught people how to get their money, how to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, how to collect your money before you tell people the final stuff, that whole thing. But I was out there for like 4 months getting nothing but change and some dollars. And then this old dirty white homeless dude came up to me and talked about the difference in blacks and whites and that they want to call colored people colored. And he said, but it's white people. White people are born red when they cold, they blue when they mad, they pink when they die, they ashes. Them your colored people, right? And so I was set this whole routine up now called the Basic Colored People's Routine. That's how I would start my show out there. And I would talk about everybody. What Mexicans? We got any Mexicans? Wink. Ain't no bus boys in this motherfucker. Okay, they're the Mexicans. Where y'all get them oranges from? So I would go to each person, each group. I would go to black people and fuck with their hair because we had so many hairstyles in the 80s. I had a blast with that shit. I would talk about white people being scared of black people. I would talk about all the things and I would make fun of it. And I'd say the reason I joke about racism because racism is a motherfucking joke. Me, when I wake up, I'm brown. When I'm mad, I'm brown. When I'm cold, I'm brown. When I die, I'm brown. White people, this color for this color for that. There's the color people would explode. And it got me in so many doors that I wasn't able to get in before. Before that, I was just making people laugh. But when you hit people in their heart, then their wallet will pop out their motherfucking pocket. You understand me? So when I was out there just doing Red Fox jokes, I was making money, but I was just making change, a couple of dollars here. Every now and then I get a 10 or 20 and think I had made it. But once I started doing the piece on racism, motherfuckers was giving me 50s and 100s. People was giving me chains. I get like 5 necklaces, 3 watches. People would come and just give to me because now I was doing nothing but conscious comedy. So I started off with the racism piece. Then I started talking about my addiction. The whole crack thing and how I got in, how I was trying to get out, that whole story. Matter of fact, I was still high when I was talking about being high. I wasn't getting high. Never went to work high, ever. But once I was off work, nigga. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's a whole different party. But I was doing that, and then AIDS hit, because I got out there I got out there in 88, and AIDS really hit in 86, 87. And back then they hadn't called it AIDS yet. They was just calling it a gay white man's disease. That's what they was calling it. And they didn't even realize that it affected anybody who had sex. Anybody. No matter what your race is, no matter whether you straight or gay, you get one person to get with you that's not, and that breaks the strain. And now you're pulled into the whole AIDS syndrome. And we were doing everything, man. I was auctioning off art, to raise money, to help with the AIDS cause, the AIDS crisis. We would do auctions. We would do all kind of stuff, man. And I had even shot this video. It's funny, we were talking about yesterday. Somebody asked me, did I ever meet George Carlin? And I had done this video I'm just talking to y'all about now, where I took a bunch of the money I won from Star Search, and I went around to a bunch of actors and had them talk about what it's like to lose so many people to AIDS. And I went to B. Arthur's house. Remember Maud? I went to B. Arthur's house. We had to stop 3 times because every time she would get into the store, she'd break down crying. And one of the people I interviewed was George Carlin. And George Carlin was like, people say they don't wear condoms because it ain't cool. He said, I tell you what ain't cool. Dying. Dying ain't cool. So instead of dying, why don't you wear a condom? Instead of being dead, be cool. I mean, he had turned it into a poem off the top of his head in no time flat. And he was a very, very great man, So all this stuff came from Venice. From being on Venice, I got to meet people. I got to start doing films and television because everybody and their mama make it to Venice Beach. It is the second largest attraction in California, second only to Disneyland. So everybody get their friends in town. They say, man, let's go to the beach because it don't cost nothing. You got $20. Shit, you can get some of that cheap pizza and one of them T-shirts. Man, you'd have had a day. Watch girls walk around in bikinis and shit. Watch the shows for free. So it still is what it was back then. It's an eternal circus. You can still go out there and see people selling things and doing artsy things and trying to make it however they can. And shoot, man, it defined me as a human being. Those 9 years, because I went to California to be a millionaire. Because I was killing in Chicago. When I was doing street performance, you couldn't fucking touch me. I was the shit. But then the police would come and mess with us because the merchants was mad. Back in the 80s, these black boys would show up with a piece of cardboard and lay it on the ground and start spinning on their head. And 200 white folks would surround them. And if you stand in front of somebody's store, they don't like that shit. Because wasn't nobody going in the store buying nothing. All these people standing in front of your store, blocking your door so they can watch somebody else who is making money. And you inside like this, motherfucker. So they called police. Police would run us away. Then all of a sudden we had to have a permit to perform on the street. Then we could only work certain streets on certain days and certain hours. It was harsh. But thank God winter came because winter made me say I got to go where it's warm. And when I found Venice Beach, none of those rules applied. All you had to do is set up and do your thing, brother. I mean, they had people out there who was talented and people out there with no talent. And they was making money. Then the guy had a little stumble for arm, he had a little stump, and 2 stumps for legs. And he would wiggle that fucking arm at you and go from stump to stump. He didn't even have a fucking act. He just pulled on your sympathy, man. So, and he was a nasty dude. I want to punt that little motherfucker. Anyway, but only because it bastardizes what we do as an artist. I don't think that you should pull on people for their money and their sympathies and call it art. If you're bullshitting. I mean, you say you ill or you saying you missing a limb or this or that. Now you're trying to get them to give you something for sympathy. Do something for it. Write a poem. Tell a story. Or be what you are. Beg a nigga. Don't beg. But don't be begging and playing like you doing art. You ain't doing art. And for the art communities out there, we had one guy with juggle. Robert Gruenberg would juggle an apple, an egg, and a chainsaw. And the chainsaw is running. He's throwing a running chainsaw, the apple and the egg. The egg is raw. He don't crack the egg. He's eating the damn apple. So while the machine slammed the egg, he bite out the apple. He throw the apple. He throw the egg. He bite out the apple. And then when he get through, he crushed the egg in his hand. Never broke the egg, ate the apple, never cut itself. That kind of stuff was out on Venice. Like, figure 18 acts like that. The one, my main man was Uber. His name was Perry Hernandez. He would walk on glass. So he had a pile of broken glass almost as high as his knees. And he'd stand on the chair and jump barefoot in the glass without getting cut. Then he'd lay on his back without a shirt. A woman would stand on his chest, a man would stand on his thigh, and he'd smoke a cigarette. Then he'd get up, didn't have a scratch. And when I got there, that nigga was making $40. $40 a day doing that shit. I said, no, you're not looking at this right. You're not looking at this right, young man. You're supposed to get in your motherfucking paper. So I would teach people out there how to get their money. It was a time in my life, and it defined me as a human being. Because like I said, I went there to be a millionaire. But I got there and realized that this planet's not about me. It's about me finding my brother. And until I find you, I don't find myself. But once I find you, then I'm home. So instead of trying to be a millionaire, I'm attempting to be a billionaire of being. I want to be the greatest human being I can possibly be. So instead of trying to make a living, I just live my making, and my making shall make my living. So I don't count dollars and I got to have this money for this. No. I count dreams. What is my dream? And how can I make the dream happen? How can I add to that? And where's the adventure? That's what I'm doing, because look, sooner or later, brother, the music is going to stop. So you better dance as fast as you can right now and shit while the record's spinning. So I'm living this life. And I learned that from being on Venice Beach. But even though my addiction, I was hanging out with other addicts and homeless people in the streets. And it taught me more about my humanity, man. No, it defined me as a human being. Then, of course, all the work came from there. People would come up and see me on Venice Beach. My first movie, Hollywood Shuffle with Robert Townsend. I was on Venice Beach. And Robert did call me for that. I was going to say Def Jam. But the Def Jam thing came because of Bernie Mac. You know, Bernie Mac told them they had to put me on. The show hadn't even started yet. And they said, no, you crazy if you don't have my kayak. So I did the first episode. I ended up doing 6 seasons of it and hosted one. I created Comic View, you know. So like the heyday, the 80s was like, I was killing them while I was fucked up. Nigga, I was fucked up. I found myself in dirty motel rooms with motherfuckers I generally wouldn't talk to on the street. You know, I was having fun like a motherfucker. But I thought I was functional, but I was really dysfunctional. You know, because in time I realized all them people who are stars now came up with me. Some of them I lifted, some of them I helped, D.L. Hughley's, and I came up with Cedric the Entertainer. Cedric got in this game, and people tell me about Cedric before I knew who Cedric was. People was like, man, it's a dude in St. Louis trying to be like you, Mr. Kaya. He wearing the suits and stuff. He playing. I said, no, he's being his version of him. It wasn't his version of me, but all these cats, we all work together. But one day I had this piece of glass, and I said, wonder what happened if I dropped this rock on this hot piece of glass. Okay, 23 years later, nigga trying to dig out. And all them other people that I was coming up with, instead of them be out in the street wilding, them motherfuckers on their job, brother. They was doing a little bit towards their dream every day. And now they all rich enough to pee cream. And me, I'm a day player. But I am the happiest I've ever been in my life. I have achieved a level of joy that I did not know was attainable. I like to put it like this. I didn't know a nigga could be this happy. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So we all have our different paths to it. But if we keep our path in the eyes of the Lord, if we get back to the path of knowing that God did this, that everything we have is a gift, everything we have is a blessing. It certainly is for me. I don't know about y'all. But for me, nigga, I should have been dead, shot up, arrested, all kind of shit I was in the streets doing, trying to get that next rock. I remember trying to get a rock one night in, what's this area? It's out in California. I can't think of the name of, late at night, like 2:30 in the morning. And I drove out to this dark area to get this rock. Rialto, the city of Rialto. And I walked in this dark corner, this dark street that had no street lights, and niggas was hiding behind little trees and shit, doing their little business in the street. They walk out to the car, whatever. And I walked up to this brother, and then he went in his pocket to get the dope. I thought he was reaching for a gun. I went in my pocket like I had a gun. This nigga had a gun for real. Okay, didn't see that coming. Okay, so all of a sudden, he like, motherfucker, what you doing? I'm like, bro, I was just scared. I thought you had a gun. He said, get your bitch ass out of here. So I ended up not even getting the dope, nigga, and damn near got killed. So I am grateful for every breath I take. Every breath I take is a blessing and a gift from the Lord. And that's how I walk it, brother. I walk every day with an attitude of gratitude. I'm very grateful for everything. I'm going to always try to bring joy wherever I go. I'm trying to lift people up. If I see somebody need some help, if I can help them, I help them. But I ain't one of them fools be sending money. People call, man, you know, I can't pay my rent, Mr. Kyle. You better learn how to get a job, nigga.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm very, very blessed. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful to Jesus Christ. I'm grateful to my queen, Sonia. Sonia is everything, man. Oh man, I was telling her the third month. I said, I know that I love you because I have never fucked you. I've only made love to you. And she said, that's sweet, Daddy, but I like to get fucked sometime too. I said, that's my motherfucker. Oh, she fucked me so good, she make me miss my young dick. Y'all still young fellas, but one time you gonna get old. I was 68, bro. And man, my 20-year-old dick, it could tell if pussy was on the block. Now my shit be like, yo, I fuck with you, but I'm gonna need a nap, nigga. So, but no, she's everything, man. And hey, happy Mother's Day to your mothers. You know,
Likewise.
my mom transcended 17 years ago this past Monday, Cinco de Mayo. I've never shed a tear because my mom ain't never left me for a minute. She still informs my every decision. It's shit I ain't gonna do because I know Mary Lena Smith was not gonna have that. You understand me? And there's certain stuff I knew that my mother would do it this way. Matter of fact, only times in my life I ever fucked up is when I went against the stuff that my parents taught me. And the only times I ever saved myself is when I went back to those teachings and did what they said. In fact, at my house, look at this big ass picture of my mama over the living room. My mama is looking at me every day.
Yes,
and
sir.
She was just an awesome, awesome person. I believe that my mother and Father God got together and sent me my wife because she is so much like my mom in her kindness and her sweetness and her smartness and her humor. My wife is so funny. That bitch is hilarious.
Yes,
and she's everything, man. She's everything. So yeah, I know that everything's about God. I know that every time I invoke God in anything, it helps it. I know prayer has saved me. Oh my God. Prayer has saved my cricket ass more times than Van Kim's has pork and beans. I'm telling you. And so I believe in that. And I know that the answer to life is, I really think the key is you're supposed to train the universe to pay you to do what you love to do. Because if you know what you love to do, even if you break even, you way ahead of the game. You know how many people out there ain't even breaking even? They ain't even paying their bills. They trying to figure out how they're gonna get the next car. When you get to your center, to your own light, things won't mean anything anymore. Your heart is what matters. What you feel, what you can convey through your brain, your thoughts, and what you can get back is gonna be precious. But stuff, if you got God, you get to have everything. Everything, So I don't know. I didn't mean to turn it into a religious show, but hey, I know who I am and I know who I belong to.
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes,
this
sir.
has been intriguing. It's been informative. It's been educational. It's been hilarious. It's been a blast. I mean, this is what we expected. I was informed by my partner that I have been doing a little freezing. That's because it's storming still out here in
Okay,
Mississippi.
right. Plus, T-Mobile has something to do with it too.
You know,
You can't really get a signal in T-Mobile unless you parked in front of the house you call it. That's all I'm saying.
and I really appreciate you
We with
because
AT&T, baby.
I've
Thank
gone
you.
through kind of the similar path. Like I went to jail. Like I got stabbed up. Somebody tried to kill me.
Wow.
I had a quadruple bypass. Got stabbed 5 times in the heart. Like I've been through the drug scene on both sides, and I understand. Like I felt everything you're talking about because when you're part of that world and you're in the entertainment scene and you're partying and you're hanging out with all these people, and then when things happen to you in the end, where are they? Like, who are these people that you were riding with? Who are these people that you were like? I found more comfort in talking to an addict sitting at a bus shack than I did talking to regular friends because they had a story. You know what I mean? And and a lot of people in life don't understand a lot of things in life. When, like, just the other day, I was the Jets. I was working the Jets game and the event, and I was at one of the buildings, and I was doing security for it. And then I was leaving after. And normally I'm DJing or putting on the events. It was different just to leave that. Walking down the street, I see a mother and a father sitting in a bus shack, and then a little kid, 6 years old, standing there while they're smoking a crack pipe. And it just made my whole mind just change because I still haven't gotten it out of my head. I saw this on Wednesday. And it was like one of those, like, and then to see people on the different aspect of being on security and watching everybody getting messed up and fucked up. All things. like normally I'm just DJing, hanging with everybody who's doing it. And then now I'm just on the other side going, this is like, I got to get away from this. This is too much. You know what I mean? The world has changed so much because since we got legal now and everything has changed. What we experienced in the 90s, 80s, and 70s and stuff is now come back full blown because weed is legal. So what's the point of having weed anymore, right? Everybody's got everything. Kids are pulling out Ziploc bags of powder in bars now. Like, these kids have money. They don't care anymore. It's just natural. And
you know, I do want to refer back to Lil Bobby White. That book is important to me because it's just reminding us that we can do anything and we can do the right way. We can find the right path. But we also need the guidance of our parents. If we don't have the guidance of our parents, then we're going to be guided by our peers. And if we're 14, our fucking peers are 13. So if we're guided by our peers going to say, yeah, you should wear your pants hanging off your ass. That's some fly shit. But it's not no fly shit. And I stand on my stage and tell y'all, it ain't no fly shit. And I'm telling you not as someone who thinks they can look down their nose at you because I cannot, but because I'm your elder. I'm fucking 68 years old. I've been around here for a minute. And I'm telling you, that shit look corny as fuck. Anybody tell you that shit look cute, they lying. And them niggas ain't even got no good looking draws. Can't y'all get some Gucci draws? Some LBs or some shit? You know, and so I tell people I'm starting a new initiative. It's called Wear a Belt Initiative. I'm about to buy up all the belts from all the thrift stores, 25 cents, 50 cents. I'm going to drape them over my arm. Then we'll get a 9mm and I'm going to walk through the neighborhood. Now, if your pants hanging off your ass, I'm going to offer you a belt. If you take one, right on. If not, pow, pow, 2 taps in the forehead. Now, I figure if I take out 3-4 fellas, everybody will be wearing the belt buckle right up to their nipple, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what's funny?
Before I get out of here, y'all have to know 2 things. I'm doing a comedy show. I do a morning show every Monday. The Michael Collier Morning Show. You need to see the Michael Collier Morning Show. I've only done 1,016. I understand if you haven't had a chance to see it. But anyway, it's an hour and a half of excellence. There's always comedy. There's always music. And every show we pray. Because I create a show where you can start your day every morning or start each day with laughter and prayer. If you start your day with laughter and prayer, you build a force field of positivity around you that no BS can penetrate. So I want you to do that. I want you to do not forget to go see my sitcom before it's out of here. It's called Highly Favored. You know how people say I'm blessed and highly favored? It's Highly Favored. It's on the Impact TV network. You have 2 ways to go in. You can go the easiest way, which I say just write one sentence out. Watch Impact, IMPACT.com, and it'll walk you right through the app. Or you can go to Impact TV and go into their website, and they have a box where you can put your zip code in. If you put your zip code in, it'll tell you how to watch it on conventional television in your neighborhood. And I'm hireable. I do weddings, divorces, Passover, hangover. I do a party in the phone booth if you promise to call. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that big fire out here in California, the big one, Altadena, a black man, a pimp, helped put that fire out. A lot of y'all didn't know that. You know how he did it? With them hoes. Anyway, make sure y'all follow me. I'm your boy Michael Collier, Comic King 123 at AOL.com, and got so much stuff coming at you, man. Just be happy, be graceful, be grateful, and also keep God first. It's gonna be all right soon as the swelling go down. Go ahead, y'all. What else y'all need to say?
I just want.
Go ahead, Stomp.
Yes, sir. I just want to say we appreciate your time, Michael, brother Michael. Everything you share with us, your jewels, the journey, guidance, the ups, the downs, the laughs, the jokes.
Thank you.
It's definitely a blessing for you to share your time. You could have been anywhere else, but we're right here. We definitely gonna be supporting the Blunt Heads animation and
It's
your
nice.
show, Highly Favored, on our networks.
Mhm.
And we look forward to just seeing you excelling in your dream, brother.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate y'all so much. God is great. I'm taking my wife to Broadway this weekend, next week, Wednesday, to go see The Lion King. She's never seen Have you seen the musical, The Lion King? Dude, it's one of the most incredible plays in the history of theater. It's off the chain. I've been threatening to take her for the longest. So we're going to see that, man. We just going to keep on living and keep on living. But most importantly, we're going to keep God first. Life is a garden if you dig it, baby. And I dig it. Thank y'all so much. I'm very grateful that y'all spent this much time with me. And let me do all the talking. Whoa.
Gotta let you get your shine. That's what it's about. But real quick before we go,
yes, sir.
Looking for the next date to bring in the next talent on the Michael Collier Morning Show.
Mm-hmm. What'd you say?
We're looking for the next date to bring in the next talent to come in on the Michael Collier Morning Show.
Okay, and that was a question?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
When's the next time to bring somebody on? Next Monday?
Next Monday.
Right,
Okay.
what you have in mind?
Bree Carter, young Nashville female pop, country soul, dance music star, boots on the ground. Yeah.
Hey, what?
Yeah. Boots get to talking, baby.
You talking about the girl who does that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, she's available to come on the show. I love her.
I know. We talked about it. I represent her, so in the background,
brother, please,
this
let's
circle.
Get her on. Ask if she can come on the show the 19th.
Okay, we'll put her on the 19th.
Because the 12th is this Monday, so the following Monday is the 19th.
We'll make it happen.
You should bring us on your show one day too.
Say what happened?
You should bring us on your show.
So y'all would come on as the team from the radio show?
Yes.
I would love that. Well, actually, I was going to interview you individually, DJ Despair, because you the only one talked, so you're the only one that I know anything about. And so your story when you talked about getting stabbed up and 5 times stabbed in the heart and dog died and shit on the floor, I said we need you on the show because we have a segment every show called My Testimony.
You're
I would love to hear your testimony.
You're the fourth person that's asked me to do that, and I appreciate it because being like everything you've done in your career, from helping people, from putting people on and those stuff, you've been an inspiration to me also with that because a lot of people don't know what you've done for comedy, for real.
Oh wow, thank you.
And a lot of people don't know like guys like Slade, Timo, what we really do for people. So being on conversations like this with you, knowing your pedigree and what you've done, like I appreciate, like even like from your story, from the the drugs and all that stuff. Yeah, man, like to be even hanging out with Rick James and all that, you got to be doing something. So
I almost had to beat him up though. Almost had to beat him up because he was talking all loud and shit in front of Roxbury. Are y'all remember the Roxbury?
Absolutely.
So he was in front of Roxbury all loud talking to me and shit. Every time I see you, I give you $100. I'm like, nigga, you ain't never gave me no $100. Once you came to Venice Beach and you put a 20 in there, you ain't never give me. And he talking loud and shit. I know he was high. I was about to jack his ass. But no, he was a great person, man. He was just a fun dude, a good dude, man. I'm very blessed, man. I think we all are. So I think it was so can you do can you ask the lady? Can she do the 19th? And DJ, can you do the 19th?
Sure.
And then if y'all wanted to come on as a team, I could do the following week, and all three of you could come on as the radio show. As that one unit.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
That'll be great, man. Y'all go check out one of the shows too. They fun like a mug. My co-hosts are crazy. What's Bree's last name?
Carter. Bree Carter. B-R-E-I.
Carter. And DJ, give me your phone number right now.
We'll send it to you after we get off the interview.
Oh, people still watching this live?
Yo, yeah.
I thought we cut this off.
We're in
already.
129 countries, and we
so
are in
glad
a network over 100
out.
million people. They gonna love to see you, man. So I'll make sure you get the number when we get off. I'll call you and give it to you.
We can talk after we get off when we get off.
Plus, they all know they can come on the 19th and see you on the Mike Kite Morning Show. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. God is great, man. I used to say God is good, but now I say chicken is good and God is great. This has been a wonderful pleasure, a treat. I'm honored to know you guys. I look forward to the further upcoming interviews we're going to do together. It's going to be good, good, and good. Y'all need anything else from me?
We're going to let you get out of here so we can get ready for the next interview.
There it is. God bless y'all, and thank you so much, all three of you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Love you, Big Mike.
All right, blessings. Make sure I get that information. 19.
I got you covered.
All right, peace.
The most versatile hip-hop radio station in the world. Phenomenal Radio.